welcome back to Bobblehead Homestead. My name is Jeff. We have a lot of rain in the forecast coming up, starting early tomorrow morning, and then a chance for like the next 7 or 8 days. We'll see. They're usually not accurate, but relatively accurate. In any event, I need to be prepared. So I've been kind of doing that today, shuffling stuff around, and and I let these little ankle biters out for some grass time. Only a few escapees. They're learning one at a time. They learn. If you get on the other side of the fence and I grab you before you get back in, you're gonna get held. So most of them are staying inside the fencing. Yeah. Black copper marans hens. Most of the black ones are the black copper marans pullets, girls, supposed to be girls. And all the rest of them are whiting true blues, a blue egg breed. And they are enjoying the day. The sun just came out. It was cloudy almost all day. And so they're enjoying it. All right, what else was I doing today? Let's go take a look at some new arrivals. Another item on my agenda today was to clean out my brooders. We'll go in there in a minute. But yeah, wheelbarrow full of chicken droppings and pine flakes, whatever they are. But yep, I have more baby chicks coming next week. Hopefully I've got 2 orders coming next week, so I'm gonna have to get ready for them anyway. But as it turned out today, I get a phone call, and there's a certain neighbor on the phone, and he's like, dude, Tractor Supply has these baby chicks. And so yeah, we did a thing. My metal shed is I need it for storage, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, so these are the Creole Penna that I got last week. And yep, brown breed Spanish, interesting. But somebody came home with these from Tractor Supply today. Oh, we got more barred rocks. So yes, I was raising some barred rocks for Wiley and Jen, and I did not do such a great job. There were only 8 of them that they'll be getting. You saw that in the last video. So he picked up another 14 at Tractor Supply today. And hey, I've got the space. I got more chickens on the way. It's not, costing me any more time or anything like that. So I don't know if I'm spilling any beans. Sorry, Wiley and Jen, if I am. But it just so happened that Hunter stopped by to drop off some garbage in my dumpster. And I flagged him down, and I had him help me lift this metal water trough and get ready for the baby chicks. So that turned out to be pretty good timing. But yeah, so we got 14 barred rocks in here, and there might be some more of those on the way next week. And then I've got the Creole Penna in here. Those white ones are not supposed to be white, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But these will, yeah, they'll be able to go outside pretty soon, because I've got heat lamps and these heat plates outside also. So once those older barred rocks go to their new home, these guys can move out, and then I'll clean this one out. And they'll be ready for more baby chicks next week. And I've got another one down here that I cleaned out today, and they'll be ready for more baby chicks next week also. Swimming in the baby chicks here at Bobblehead Homestead again. Alright, barred rocks to add to their future flock up there. Next week, they should be shipping my order of Welsumers. Those were coming from Deer Run Farm in Maryland, and I got an email saying they should have them. So they hatch over the weekend, and they usually ship them on Monday. So with those coming, I decided to do some more baby chick shopping, and I went ahead and ordered some more of the Creole Penadicincas. Um, they just became available. They don't have very many of them at Murray McMurray Hatchery, and so they don't know until the week before anyway. So I got a notification that they had more of the Creole Penadicincas available. So I went ahead and ordered them, and then while I was at it, I went ahead and got another dozen barred rocks for Wiley and Jen. So it was going to be a surprise, but I had to run it. But that's all right. So 8 females they'll be getting. We think they're all females, and then he just got 14 straight run. I've got 12 straight run. So if they get 20 hens, that'd be great. Probably more than 20 hens. And if they want a larger flock, then they can keep 2 roosters or, extra hens to pair, 2 hens and a rooster and sell them for, whatever. But yeah, and I am happy to help them out with this because there's not a lot of things I can help people out with. I'm not a good electrician or plumber or physical labor or, so I'm limited on how I can help other people, and raising baby chicks is one way that I can help other people. And they're off grid, so running the electricity means battery usage and generator, whatever. So I am more than happy to help them. And now that it's getting warmer in the year, these baby chicks will be ready at like a month old. So it's and I'm already raising baby chicks of my own. So it's not any more time or effort on my part, and I'm happy to do it. So hopefully I do a better job of keeping all of these alive. For example, Pasty Butt. So I'm going to be on Pasty Butt tonight. I want to work outside until dark, and then after dark I can come out here and turn the light on and work on Pasty Butt. But whenever you buy anything, any baby chicks, when you get them home, check for Pasty Butt. Because it's just all too common when you're buying chicks from a feed store or something like that. And even my own, the ones that I've got a couple in there that have Pasty Butt. And what is Pasty Butt? So in this, in the pine shavings, there's a lot of dust and stuff in there. And so when they poop, if there's any moisture in their poop and they get all that dust on it, then it sticks to their little rear ends and clogs it. And you can only clog a rear end for so long until, yeah. So always a good idea to routinely check for Pasty Butt. And then what I do is I'll get a little like glass and I'll just dip them down in there and hold them for a few seconds so it gets it nice and wet. And then, a warm wet rag and just gently get rid of all the excess junk on their little rear ends, and then keep your eye on them. But it's fatal. It's fatal if you don't catch it. So, put in the little effort it takes to wipe their little rear ends, and they'll be good to go. The neighbors are over there making all kinds of noise with a lawnmower and a weed whacker. So I just happened to bring my my keys out here for Mr. Boss Hogg. And I can make a little noise of my own too. I need to do this every once in a while to make sure the battery stays charged and no squirrels have taken over the engine. So here we go. 1991 Chevy Suburban 2500 has not been started in probably a good 2 weeks. So let's give it a try. enough. I'm gonna leave it running for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll get back to you. It's been a while since Boss Hogg made an appearance, so I figure why not. What's the scoop on Boss Hogg? Man, it's just sad. It is. I mean, it'll start up and runs. It has no power. It can barely make it up a hill. And then this used to be my everyday. That was the only vehicle I had for quite a while. And then things started happening, and I've had a lot of help from a lot of friends keeping this thing at least on the road. And I drove it for quite a while while it was still having problems with the power. And then it also would have a problem if you drove it too long on a hot day, it just shut off. And then you'd have to wait a half an hour and to get it started again, and then 10 minutes later it shuts off again for a half an hour. And so yeah, so I've had to move on from vehicles, but and then it just hasn't been a priority. It's going to start becoming a little bit more of a priority now, because I've got that Caterpillar behind me, and this is, if it ran properly, this would haul the Caterpillar skid steer. That cat is, I think, 7,600 pounds. So yeah, this should technically, I mean, if everything ran well. And I don't know, Drew had it for a long while, and the next thing he was going to try was cleaning the throttle body, and that never got done. And then Wiley has consulted on it. The next door neighbor, Greg, has been talking to me about it recently, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a car guy. All I can do is hear everybody's opinions. But I'm about ready, one way or the other. I need to know if this engine's good. So I guess the next test is a compression test, and to test the cylinders. It might be a blown head gasket. If that's the case, then I'd rather fix that than go buy a new engine. But if I need to buy a new engine and put it in here, I'm open to that idea also. So we'll see what I can do on the square body Suburban front this year. I would really like to have this as a chick mobile too. Those cattle troughs that I'm raising baby chicks in, yeah, throw one of those in the back of this, drive on up to the feed store every Saturday morning and meet my customers. So that would be that'd be a good thing. It's also, I can haul 8-foot, 10-foot boards in here, 4x8 pieces of drywall or sheetrock or plywood, and then it being heavy duty enough to pull my skid steer, so I'm not waiting around for a month on somebody who can, tow it for me. So this is going to become a little bit of a bigger priority. Then I'll probably, the Toyota Sequoia, which only gets 14 to 15 miles per gallon. It's not my favorite thing, but then I could pass along the Toyota Sequoia, and then also the LeSabre. I love the gas mileage on that LeSabre. When my back is bothering me, it's a pain, a literal pain to get in and out of. So I'm gonna enjoy the Buick while it lasts, but I think I'll be wanting something a little taller, maybe another minivan, small SUV, something like that. That would be my, better gas mileage daily driver, and then use Boss Hogg as my utility vehicle to haul stuff and pick stuff up and whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Every mechanic's gonna have a different guess, but it ain't running right, and it's got no power going up a hill, and it shuts off on itself. It starts fine. There's a little bit of smoke in the exhaust. It's loud because we took the catalytic converter off and put some type of loud muffler on it. I don't care about that though. I just want it running good enough for me to start using it on a regular basis again. Wish I could show you this in 3D, because you really can't tell. But yeah, just finished the landscape fabric off of that Hügelkultur raised bed. And you saw me do this one and that one the other day. So yeah, all the landscape fabric off out here. And I got more over there, but we're worried about this for right now. And yeah, see, if this were 3D, you could tell there's holes and dips and all kinds of stuff that makes this unlevel. And you know, if a guy had a skid steer and 14 acres of land, he could go steal some topsoil from somewhere else on the property and fill in all those holes and gaps and dips. And so, yeah. And then if a guy knew somebody with a dump trailer, he could go to Dardanelle and buy compost for $20 a bucket load, and then top these off with a couple inches of nice rich compost. And then what I'd put landscape cloth down. I'd put the right width this time, so instead of trying to piece them together, you know, just get one long enough or wide enough. Anyway, I don't know, I'm filling in time until my skid steer is done. But once my skid steer is done, I will be stealing some topsoil, filling in all the dips and holes and gaps, and you know, trying to level this out some more. And I'll get something planted in here one way or the other this year. Might have to hire some helpers from somewhere, but we've got a long growing season. I don't have to be in any major hurry. Oh yeah, that landscape fabric I pulled up, it's still good. I can still use it. Some of you might remember I did a row of sunflowers out here, but they're got like 50 seeds in every hole, so they didn't do very well. But that's what I can use the landscape fabric for, is, you know, do a row of landscape fabric here and then put some holes in it and plant some sunflower seeds, or, you know, whatever. So I will probably still be using, and you can see in there also, I did zinnias last year, same concept. So with that, it's 3 feet wide, I think. So I can still use that landscape fabric for other stuff. We'll see how much energy I've got. You know, gardening is not my priority, the chickens are. So I've got to get my fencing done, get myself a livestock guardian dog to protect my chicken breeding investment. That is priority number one. And then 4th of July is another priority. But if I can fit in some gardening in the meantime, I've always enjoyed that in the past. You saw me doing some work over here also. Just, you know, weed whacking against this tarp. Now this one, it's all, you know, holes and dips and stuff, but it's, yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll cheat and just leave that. Maybe I'll just leave all 3 of these alone. There's 3 more here this year, because I want to get out here with my skid steer and do all kinds of work. So I don't know. But I've got some options. This one, all the landscape fabric come off on this one. Landscape fabric here isn't too bad either. So what I could do is, with a torch, you know, flamethrower type deal. Well, maybe not a flamethrower, maybe like a kitchen propane torch. Put some holes in this landscape fabric, you know, put in some garden soil and some seeds and see what grows out of there. I'm not sure. I might end up doing what I did with the other 3 and just go ahead and pull up the landscape fabric and get it out of the way. This stuff I definitely need to pull up the landscape fabric, and I do need to do it now while the ground is soft, because once summer hits and that sun beats down and we stop getting rain, it's going to be harder to get this landscape fabric out. Right now the soil's loose enough that I can just pull it with my hand. I only need the hammer every once in a while. And yeah, no idea what kind of tree that is, but it grew up in in between my Hügelkultur beds. And that was too thick for the weed whacker, so I'm gonna have to whack that weed some other way. Yeah, relatively productive day. I will take it. It's getting dark, and I gotta tarp this thing up. So yeah, I moved the cat beds and the seats and the bed, and put a tarp over it so the cats have somewhere to nap outside of the rain, and so I can protect my investment in this. I mean, it's meant to get wet, but why have to deal with that if you don't want to? Not sure what videos will be like coming up, because we've got a lot of rain in the forecast. And even if the skid steer does get fixed, it's not smart for an inexperienced person like me to be trying it out in the mud. I probably will anyway, but then I'll chicken out. But anyway, yeah, it's just, in the rain is just not a fun thing to be working outside, even in a enclosed cab. So not sure what's coming up for videos. Hopefully that skid steer is going, and if the weather breaks, we don't get as much rain, I can start working on getting my fencing done, because that is holding everything up. It's holding everything else up. And yeah, and I need, now I got more baby chicks coming. They're gonna be needed to be moved to their flocks, and yeah, I need to get that fence up and start shopping for a Great Pyrenees or an Anatolian Shepherd or a mix. What are the other livestock guarding dogs? Maremma, I think that's one. And there's probably another one or two that I'm not thinking of. But no mutts. No mutts. You got to have the pedigree of a livestock guardian dog, because that's going to be their job here. They're not indoor pets. They're working dogs. All right, enough rambling for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything, and take it easy. Guess what? It's bedtime. It's bedtime. Time to go to bed. No, it's time to go to bed. There you go. Get in there. Good. Don't come back out. Grumpy, I'm gonna have to steal your bed before it starts raining, but you can nap until then.